Welcome to the premature ejaculation episode of Barstool Perspective. We had to change our schedule around, so we're shooting this on Friday afternoon unexpectedly rather than Friday. But welcome to everybody.
Cheers.
Happy weekend. We're
Yep.
going to give you, as usual, the week's news and booze and some random bullshit opinions.
You can steal yourself from watching college basketball. Join us as we pull an Anakin Skywalker and kill some Yinglings. We got a busy week. There's a ton that's happened. So why don't we jump into the biggest story of the week, according to the CPG beverage media, and that is Poppi has been sold to PepsiCo for $1.65 billion. Mike, have you ever had a Poppi?
On whether that's a good or a bad deal if I knew what the hell a Poppi was.
Well, that answers my question. I was wondering what the last Poppi you had to
No
drink
idea.
was.
What's a Poppi?
How
And why
often-
do I care?
How often do you drink prebiotic beverages?
I never.
What is a prebiotic beverage?
Is beer a prebiotic beverage? Unless it, I don't know.
I
What does
we're-
prebiotic mean? Probiotic's a whole gut health bacterial thing like yogurt stuff, whatever.
My understanding is a probiotic is literally bacteria that is good for your gut, like lactobacillus and some others, which I can't name. A prebiotic is largely a made-up term. I think it's a thing that probiotics eat to live. My understanding on Poppi, at least, is it has fiber added. It's a soft drink with fiber, so it's a prebiotic.
Okay. So it's a bunch of artificial sugars, some fiber in it, and how's it taste?
Absolutely awful. It's awful. It's so bad. It is just laden with stevia and other
Why do
non-natural
people buy
sweeteners.
it?
I don't know, because it looks cool and it sounds fun. Poppi.
Oh.
It's Poppi, Mike. It's Poppi.
So it's a trend.
You know who really
it's
likes
independent.
it? Do you know who really, really likes it? Health influencers.
You know what, Brett? If we've learned anything from the past couple of years,
I have not.
Dylan Mulvaney taught us that social media influencers can do amazing things for your beverage. So I think this is a great move by Pepsi. It doesn't at all sound like the ballast point of of non-alcoholic beverages.
That's a great analogy or a great comparison. Poppi is currently doing about $500 million a year in sales. PepsiCo is buying them for 3x revenue. That's a crazy metric. 3x revenue. That's not even the No, that was you hit the piano. There's a piano in the corner. Mike just blasted it. Profit margin can't be more than maybe generously 30%.
What's typical business valuation if you're going to buy a brewery? That's like 5x usually, right? I mean, you're not talking those
like
level
5x
numbers.
EBITDA, not fucking top line revenue.
Okay.
So 3x top line revenue is absolutely bonkers. Like that's a bonkers number. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's absolutely unfathomable what PepsiCo just did. Especially when there's other things out there like Olipop and other prebiotic fucking soda horseshits. So I don't know.
To my knowledge, don't own any stock in Pepsi, so who cares?
What about that stock in Poppi that you have?
I'm pretty sure I don't own any of that either.
Well, let's talk about a stock you do own.
Yeah.
Tilray.
I just bought a bunch more of it.
It is continuing to drop. After we have successfully Jim Cramered it, it is down 66% this year alone. It is just getting blasted. But what's interesting is the metrics. Mm-hmm. Tell us about them.
Well, as it turns out, we are not the only people who appear to be delusional about Tilray stock. In fact, it just made a list of the top 10 oversold Canadian stocks, which is a good thing. But that starts, when I read it, it starts with what the hell is an oversold stock?
Yeah. Yeah, like it sounds weird, right? It just basically means there's way more people selling than buying Tilray right now, which is what's partially driving the price down.
Yeah.
But the numbers don't make sense. First of all, Tilray's in over 20 countries. They have over 40 brands. They have reported a revenue of $211 million. So by the Poppy metrics, they're worth like $1 billion. And they're up 10% year over year on top line revenue. And profits grew 30%.
Yeah.
So they're not only are they making more money, they're making way more profit. They're extremely profitable right now. And
this doesn't even get into the reason that we like it, because we believe, and this is our speculation, but we believe that they are poised to become a major weed drink dealer in the United States. So as it turns out, a lot of hedge funds are actually with this. You know, whether or not it's the weed thing or it's just the base numbers, there are major hedge funds that are buying the hell out of Tilray.
Yes.
Just like us. Everybody else, Wall Street just consistently says this stock is a dog. Don't buy it. If you have it, sell it. It's garbage. But
you know what just hit me is what I think it is that Wall Street looks at it from a high level. They're not really, they don't really care. What they're seeing is,
and/or a short-term level.
yes, that's a good point too. Mm-hmm. And they're looking like Tilray, craft beer company. They own a bunch of craft breweries. Craft beer's in the tank. Don't buy this crap. But really, it's not about that. It's what they're poised to do. So, I don't know. I say keep hovering around 68 cents, and every paycheck I'm going to continue to buy a little bit more.
I read this report this week. I looked at how much money I have lost on Tilray since I bought it at like $1.70 or something like that. And I said, fuck it, and I bought another 1,000 shares.
Which was only
Still
$600.
not high, still not high finance, but yeah. I say here's another $600. I'm with you, Tilray.
I look forward to joining you in the poorhouse, or the poorer house. I can't believe that. The Tilray stuff's just killing me right now. I feel like 2 years from now we're going to be like fucking popping champagne bottles. Be like, ah!
Or we're going to have been tremendously wrong, but one way or another.
We'll have fun. We'll be drunk.
Yeah.
Gin, do you drink it?
Not really.
Oh, all right.
I've learned to appreciate gin. I used to hate it, but I still don't drink it. Well, I mean, I don't drink a lot of liquor, for one thing. And, you know, gin tends to be something that you mix with stuff.
Yeah, you don't drink. I don't drink gin neat a lot. I don't see a lot of people that
I'm not a cocktail guy.
I guess
I think
martinis
if you can't drink it on its own, it's garbage.
Well, gin's set to see some significant growth in the next 5 years, according to analysts. Largely, what they're saying is driven by a premiumization of gin. It's like, hey, look, we can make craft gins, we can do fun gins. I'd argue that the whole reason gin's becoming premiumized is because that distilleries, craft distilleries, smaller distilleries, that are needing to age stuff need something to make money in the short term. In gin, you can make basically overnight. You ferment your liquid, you distill it, you add your botanicals, boom, you got gin within a matter of weeks rather than years.
Yeah.
I think that's largely what's driving this push for good gin.
Yeah, a lot of new distilleries and bourbon. The future of bourbon looks bleak. It's overmade. So push that story that more people like gin and more people will probably like gin. But more people are drinking fancy ass cocktails, so whatever.
Well, if we could go back for a second here, Longer Than Life wants you to know, Mike, that algorithms don't move first, they follow trends. So he's with you on the Tilray thing.
All right.
And Elijah is a little bit of a freak and actually drinks gin neat, like a weirdo.
Some people do. I mean, if it's good gin, I think it's fine. You're gonna need her like
Elijah, you're not that weird. Just a little bit.
I just meant with the gin thing. I mean,
Mike, there was a new study put out about wine that says it's making a comeback, and 2026 is going to be the year. Let me tell you the name of the study. and who did the study, and then you give us your feedback on said study.
Okay.
The study is called Resilience and Preparedness for the Next Global Wine Consumption Cycle, authored by Jean-Marie Cardaba, the economics professor at the University of Bordeaux. Mike.
Oh, a Frenchie at the University of Bordeaux.
What happens in Bordeaux that they would care about wine?
I read a similar study recently, Brett. Joe Marlborough from Marlborough University in Amarillo,
Tennessee.
Texas. He says that chain smoking is about to make a big comeback as well. Bullshit.
See,
every other metric on wine says, I mean, I will fight the market on a lot of stuff, but wine is screwed.
Well, what I heard about cigarettes is that the tar lines your lungs and prevents bird flu from getting into your bloodstream.
Yeah, well, we're probably going to need that since we're not going the vaccine route.
Yeah, that's an absolute bonkers study. There's no way wine sees a comeback in 2026. And if anything, the French and their wine are absolutely doomed.
Yeah. Yes.
Which dovetails wonderfully into our next story about how French tariffs on their wine, or EU tariffs in general, 200% on wine, could absolutely rat fuck anybody in the wine business.
Yeah.
So imagine this.
That's an economic term.
Rat fuck? Yeah, I think it is.
Gerard Depardieu there at Bordeaux University. You can explain it.
So imagine this. You're a small wine producer in France. You make your wine, you don't have a ton, you ship it to your exporter, your distributor, and they ship it to the United States. It takes about a month to get across the Atlantic for a bunch of various reasons.
It's a long time. It's got to go through a lot of ports, a lot of...
And sits in customs and bullshit. And you're an importer in America. You're like, I want to buy this stuff. And it takes a month from when I put my purchase order in to when it hits my dock and I have to pay for it and accept the shipment. But in the meantime, 200% tariffs go into effect, which means that PO you put in now is up in the air. 200% tariffs means a 200% increase on the price you're paying. But who's paying it? Do the French pay it? Does the American importer pay it? Does the American importer reject it and then it goes back to France? So you bankrupt everybody in France that's in that supply chain? Or
That's
do you
what
accept
happens.
it and get bankrupted in America?
Because it's not sellable at a 200% tariff.
There's no way.
So you bankrupt everybody. You bankrupt the vineyard in France, you bankrupt the American importer, and you probably screw some shipping companies out of what they're owed for shipping it.
Well,
There's absolutely not one person that benefits from that. But you know,
I would reject that load as soon as it hit the dock. If it went up 200% in value since the time I bought it to when it hit the dock, I'd be like, send it back. I'm not taking it.
like every time I've got a woman pregnant, I change my name and just move cities. It's a joke. It's never happened.
It's easier just to get an abortion.
It's a joke. It's never happened. My name is not Gerard Depardieu from Missouri. Or Quebec. You know, I had an interesting conversation with a winery this last weekend. And I've talked about this winery in the past because I like it. I do think that they're making some good things. And they use this Noré grape that is like a
Norton?
Pinot, a Norton grape. No, it's not. It's like a hybrid grape that was made at Cornell to be like a Pinot grape that grows well in Kentucky climates. So I was, you know, having some wine. I was trying to have a conversation about them with this grape because I think they use it more than anybody else. And I was fascinated if they learned anything about it, etc. So, you know, I'm having this conversation with them, and they also buy a lot of grapes for their varieties that don't grow well in Kentucky climate.
Which is
and
a lot
their
of
soil.
grapes.
Yeah, absolutely. So they buy a lot of California grapes, and I asked what the pricing was.
So
on
they're
that.
probably getting good deals right now.
That's what I asked. I was like, you know, sir, you're getting good deals on California grapes because we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
There's a glut of grapes. They're destroying vineyards. In relative terms, California grapes are really cheap. And, you know, the guy was just like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, what's cheap anymore? Nothing's cheap. But I don't
That's a
know.
weird, vague, awful thing to say.
I'm thinking that maybe, these tariffs will bring down the price of California grapes. And I wanted to explore this, but I also just wanted to drink my wine pleasantly and then leave.
Yeah.
But my takeaway from it was like, my God, you're running this winery in Kentucky. And okay, there's an argument to be made. I don't think that it holds up, but there's an argument to be made that if tariffs were to kill the European wine market in the United States, that it frees up around about 21% of the American wine market currently. Which could be filled by American wine producers.
Sure.
Now, is that going to significantly be these small little mom and pop wineries? No.
Not from Kentucky.
Maybe could they pick up a 1-2% growth from that? Okay. Although that's only going to offset the price they're going to pay additionally for bottles that are being hit by tariffs.
Also, if there's increased fucking demand for American grapes, that means your price of California grapes is going up.
Correct.
So tariffs is going to have the opposite impact of what you want.
So I'm talking to this business owner who has a complete fundamental misunderstanding of anything that these tariffs would do to the market. Doesn't seem to understand that it's going to make his bottom line go up, nor that, if anything, it's going to make the price of California grapes increase. And there's no real meaningful way it's going to help his business at all.
No, it won't.
Other than tanking the Kentucky economy because of all the bourbon related.
Well, we all know that the poorer you are, the more wine you want to buy and drink.
Right. There's also that. When the price of groceries goes up, people tend to just drink more expensive wine.
It sounds like he should make an egg wine.
He should make an egg wine.
Mike, Corona Island.
I'm going.
Are you intrigued?
Yeah. What's Corona Island? And do you get a wine with it?
Thanks for setting me up with that. Corona, the
Bad beer.
the bad beer producer,
Skunky beer you have to drink with lime.
bought an island off the coast of Colombia, and they have put in a bunch of bungalows, and you have to get there by boat, and you can take day trips or you can stay overnight. It's adult only. Every place has their own jacuzzi, 2 people per bungalow maximum. They have launched Corona Island. It's open to the public now, and you can book your reservations.
Great.
And
Where is it?
Off the coast of Colombia.
Fantastic. We've covered the whole legalization of cocaine Colombia thing before, so.
Oh, you mean
I think
the wine of South America, cocaine?
Yeah. It's fantastic. This is a whole new White Lotus season out of this.
Oh my God.
Like people just,
Corona Island White Lotus.
relative terms, it's kind of hard to OD on coke, but I mean, it sure as shit isn't impossible. So,
A lot of the ODs from cocaine usually come from the shit they cut it with. It's not the cocaine itself that's killing you, it's the fentanyl.
Well, yeah, definitely in the modern world.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, obviously if you're ripping, the 1/8 gram or 1/8 ounce lines, you're going to get put under.
Yeah,
But
you can-
no one's snooting 8 balls on the rig.
Right.
Well, no normal human.
And underline, heart conditions. It's not recommended.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, but this is just an insane thing. Corona Island. It's all inclusive. It's $600 a night. And I don't know. I don't think that sounds like a bad deal, honestly. $600 a night for all inclusive, all the Corona and cocaine you can drink and snort.
Booze and, yeah, sure. I like it.
Yeah, sounds great. Just reach out to coronaisland.com or where the hell you can book it and get your Corona trip on.
It'll
Colombia,
definitely probably be better than the whole Fire Island experience.
the capital of Colombia is Bogota, right?
Yes.
Which is the highest capital city in the entire world. It's like 10,000 feet in the air. So if you're not used
like
to
nice climate?
I don't know about that,
would
but it's
assume
super
there has
high
to
up. So Mile High City in Denver, it's twice as high as that. So good luck for all you out of shape Americans, myself included. We pay a lot of money in credit card fees, and it's not going down anytime soon. $200 billion last year alone in fees. The extra 3% that you gets charged on your credit card. Are you carrying more cash now?
No, I'm carrying less cash.
Yeah,
I hate
same.
it. But, they kind of made getting cash really expensive and also just a problem. And the thing that gets hacked most is your ATM card. So I don't even have one anymore. And, it sucks.
I got rid of my ATM card. I don't carry my debit card anymore with me, which is all I used to use. Like back in college, I was like, if I don't have the cash for it, I can't afford it. Now, I'm on credit cards, baby.
These fees are up exceptionally. There's an organization out there that's trying to get legislation passed to make who processes the transactions a competitive process. So, you're not locked in to MasterCard or Visa, which is like 80-some% of the market. Let's say Venmo wants to get into that space and they want to charge you 75% less than MasterCard Visa because you can still make a shitload of money doing it. Mm-hmm. Then that's going to make it more competitive and it's going to decrease those fees for both businesses and individuals. And
Well,
I'm very confident that in the current administration that's going to happen.
Well, what's greasy with this whole...
That was sarcasm. Yeah, go on with your greasiness.
God damn it. Next story. Tequila. Tequila. We've talked about it a couple times now. Like, there's a glut, there's tariffs. Tequila, it's fucked. But we're actually peeling the onion back. It's fucked on more layers than what we originally thought.
It's actually kind of been one of the best performing spirits. It's kind of been sort of the good story around spirits. But the problem with tequila is the whole, is there going to be a tariff? Isn't there going to be a tariff, etc.? That uncertainty in the market caused a lot of people to import a bunch of tequila. People had resources to import a bunch of it, up to like 6 months supplies, to kind of ride out trade war nonsense with Mexico. The problem with that is that even if there aren't tariffs with Mexico, which to my understanding, as we record this, there might not be 5 hours from now, who knows, but that uncertainty means that there are a bunch of people and major producers and importers that are sitting on months and months of supplies with it. And that alone, just sitting on it, is going to add about 10% to the cost of tequila. Plus, a lot of them had to eat a lot of labor cost and shipping cost to shove a bunch of it across the border prior to the fear of tariffs coming into effect.
So it's the time value of money.
Yes.
I'm paying for this up front, and I'm sitting on it hoping to fucking benefit. The storage cost I'm paying for, the extra labor I'm paying for, this increased inventory I may or may not sell, I'm paying for. It's a lose-lose-lose situation.
So even if there was one definitive announcement that there's not going to be these Mexican tariffs that affect tequila, you're already going to see about a 15% increase in tequila prices just as a result of the uncertainty and the chaos around all of it.
Brutal.
It's all great policy. Let's move on.
Shots are making a comeback. Shots,
Really?
Shots.
I quit doing it a long time ago. That's
Everybody,
great.
except
The youth are like doing shots again. They're doing tequilas. Are they doing sidecars or not?
I'm gonna let you down, buddy. I'm about to let you down real hard.
I got faith. I got faith in Gen Z, Brett.
It's
Little
non-alcoholic shooters, Mike. It's low alcohol shooters. It's all the bad shooters. It's not even good shooters.
Oh, it's all been a dream.
Mike, wake up. It's 1984 again.
What's the fucking point of non-alcoholic shooter? I mean, serious. For Christ's sakes, I can see your daughter doing like shots of orange juice. Just like
maybe we should
that.
start doing that.
Yeah, sure. But what? Really? Like people are buying shots of bullshit shots?
So last night I went to the, this is not talking about shots because fuck all them. We went to a Mexican joint and picked up some food and I took it home for the fam. And I saw that they had margaritas for sale, ready made to go. So I picked up one for me and the wife. And I come home with the margaritas and the food. And my daughter, who's 3.5, looks at the special drinks we have and she goes, "Where's my special drink, Papa? Why don't I get a special drink? I want a special drink." So yeah, maybe an orange juice shooter would have been the thing.
Sure. Yeah.
She didn't get a special drink, she got water.
You should have all sit down and done cranberry shots as a family.
UTIs be gone.
I'll sat back with a candy cigarette.
Well, Mike, I know that you thought for a brief moment that the younger generation was maybe saved, but I guess not. Pina colada shooters at 10% ABV and or NA stuff is all that you're going to get.
Sweet, sappy, sugary 10% ABV shots.
It's sugar. It's
just
the
more
sugar shooters.
Yeah, let's do some sugar.
Well,
Great, good for you.
Now that our producer Dan is getting up behind the screen, it is time for us to get going because well, it's almost 4 and we got shit to do because it's Thursday and it's a work day. So that's it. Oh, book. If you're listening VOD, if you're listening live, I'm sure you already got a couple copies. But if you're here on the VOD, check us out at CincinnatiBeerBook.com. If you haven't liked, subscribed, or shared any of our stuff, or more importantly, just comment and tell us we're doing a bad job, that would be great. Otherwise, you know.
It really wouldn't. I take enough criticism. And I love you people. Have a good week.
Cheers, y'all.